Hello, students. Welcome back to our response system class 2. Okay, so I'm going to further explain what we discussed in the previous class. Okay, so of course you can come back to watch the video from my channel. So welcome. But at the beginning of this class, I'm going to review some important idea for you. So remember, in the last class, we talked about there are two types of organizations, right? So if you want to organize people, right, you want to manage the disaster response activities, there are actually two types of organizations. The first one is more like a hierarchical system. You set up a hierarchy, so you can command and control people. So everyone has his or her own boss, right? So the second type of the organization focus more on the collaboration between the players or between the participants, right? So the first type of organization focus more on the professionalism, right? Because everyone just everyone is responsible for a small portion of the whole picture, right? So he or she over years or over a couple of days can become familiar with his or her job, right? But second type of the organization focus more on the flexible. Again, it's more like again, everybody need to do everything, right? So even you have more customers come in, you can still handle that because it's very flexible. So on the first type of organization, it can make a decision quicker, right? Because everyone has his or her own boss. So once a boss make the decision can be implemented by the people on the front line, right? But on the contrary, the second type of organization need more time to reach consensus. So in my previous video, I say, so in the emergency medical services, because the scale of disaster is small, so it's more suitable to utilize this type of organization to manage the EMS activities or provide the EMS training. But for some big disasters like Hurricane Katrina, the organization will naturally, remember what I say, naturally become more toward to the second type of organization. Okay, so everything I said before is based on the organizational theory. So again, organizational theory. So more specifically, the theorist say this type of organization is a mechanistic organization, right? Mechanistic. Why it is a mechanistic organization? Because everyone just like a machine, right? Just like a gear in a machine. So you just need to be in charge of your part, right? Your task, you complete your task. Then we have many gears, then the whole machine can work. So this is a mechanistic organization. So this one is more organic organization. Organic means people need to reach consensus, and it depends on the different type of missions. The organization will dynamically adapt to the environmental changes, right? So again, to help you better understand, I purchased a tool, a toy here. Okay, so again, the response system is like this toy, right? So in many times it looks like this, very small ball, right? But as the disaster expand, the toy is going to expand like this one. Okay, which is naturally, right? Why? Because you see this small ball, there is not many spaces for other organizations to join it, right? So once the disaster getting bigger and bigger, right, you need to create more space for other organizations or non-traditional first responders to join your response system, right? So once you become very big, you need to have enough space for everyone to participate into the disaster response activities, right? So after you respond to disaster, after you can control the disaster, you need to become smaller, and smaller, then come back to this status. Okay, so if you can follow this concept, so actually the discussions of the incident command system in the periods like decades are actually the debates between this and this, right? So if you only look at the small disasters, you will propose to establish the type 1 organization, which is more hierarchical organization, because you think this organization is very efficient and it can create a professional, can help out all disaster responders to increase their professionalism, right? And they're very efficient because the time of making decision is quick, right? So if you look at the small scale of disasters, you will propose this type of organization. But on the contrary, a lot of researchers or people in the higher position, like in the state level or in the federal level, the reason I say higher is not necessarily the rank. The reason I say higher is more like in a broader jurisdiction. Okay, so if you always look, or you normally look at the complex situations of disasters, right? If you keep thinking about like scenarios like a Hurricane Katrina, you will propose this type of organization, right? Because you see situations are much more complex than this type of organization can handle. Okay, so the most important thing is, based on the organizational theory, there is no purely mechanistic or organic organization, which means in many times the disaster response system, once you activate them, is a dynamic process. So the system keep expanding and they keep shrinking, depends on the scale of your disaster. Okay, again, it's keep expanding or keep shrinking after disasters. So the point is not to reject any system in mechanistic status or in organic status. The point is trying to understand this is the process and then figure out those points that can expand this toy or shrink this toy. Okay, let me say again. The point is not to say mechanistic system is not good for disaster response, or to say the organic system is not practical to manage disaster response activities. The point is to understand this is actually a process, right? The response system is going to expand or shrink, right? So it's a life system. It's keep expanding. After disasters, it's keep shrinking, right? So the point is to understand what are the dots, the joints to make this ball shrink or expand, right? If you can understand that, you can easily expand your response system based on the different scales of the disasters. Okay, so if you can follow me, welcome to leave your comments to me, and please like this video, subscribe my channel. If I have enough response, I have enough like, I will make more videos and purchase more toys to explain my idea. Okay, good. Okay, So thank you very much for watching this video. I will talk to you later. Bye bye. Thank you.